live today during this Christmas holiday season. Students are excited. I'm sitting right here at GCTE as we do our radio patience to all our listeners. We have a lovely guest today who is part of our business group, so I am excited to welcome him. As you know, Dr. Grant has just walked in the building. So good morning, Dr. Grant.
Good morning.
And so, Mr. Grant, we are excited to interview this young gentleman who is part of our American Caribbean group here in Sun City. Yes. So today we're going to be introducing Paulie Duguay. He is from Duguay Capital Enterprises Corporation. He assists businesses with their credit, and I'm going to let him talk further. So welcome, Paulie. Thank you, Paulie, for joining us today.
I'm very glad to be here, Mrs. Grant. I was so excited. I actually got up about 5:30 this morning and everything. I couldn't go back to sleep, so I was ready to come on.
We welcome you at CRR-FM. So, Paulie, tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, well, can I actually go in ahead and start just a little brief short story of how my entrepreneurial journey started about 13 years ago?
Let me just jump in, Paulie, and welcome you to the CRR network. We are very glad to have you.
Thank you.
I know you've been excited because you called me about 3 or 4 times.
Yes.
So I know you're very excited. So welcome to the show, and it's good to have you here. And tell us, how did you get started in this business?
Okay. Well, on the commercial lending, corporate business credit side of things and all that, it started, I guess, about the summer of 2022 and everything. I was doing one of my operating LLCs as a courier logistics, transportation, freight forwarding, exporting kind of thing. It was all under one house. And I started that venture back in 2016 and everything, doing eBay drop shipping, Amazon fulfillment, listing products on my e-commerce stores and everything. And so, I started acquiring, a little bit of customers here and there and everything, thanks to eBay and everything. So that's when I pretty much was just, doing my continuous research about, okay, so how exactly where are all these products coming from? They're coming from, overseas, like China, India, Pakistan, the Middle East, Europe and everything. So noticing that, okay, that's all got to come from imports and everything. And so, I was like, okay, well, let me check out what transportation logistics is all about and everything, So that's when I, started doing, regular day jobs with DHL and everything. I was working for a third party company, and so that's how I learned the business really of doing courier logistics. Is that, obviously people who shop online, shop on their phones and everything, or even from Alexa or whatever you want to name it, they order products, from their fingertips. So obviously, that has to all come down to one thing where, us courier logistics, third party, small businesses, they have to deliver those products for those customers and everything, for those companies. Coming from, imports from, from China, India, all those countries that I mentioned just a couple minutes ago. So that's where I was operating my first LLC before the pandemic in 2019 and everything. I registered the company in 2020 and all that. And so that's how I got started, doing my own thing. I broke away from DHL at the start of the pandemic in March of 2020. So, pretty much the rest is history. That's what I was doing, for all of 2020, and then going back to another third-party courier company called Blue Street Couriers in Orlando and everything. They've got like a whole, like, network of offices throughout the state of Florida, and I think there's some in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, I got into like the whole, like, driving box trucks, driving high roof cargo vans and all that. So that's really, the seeds of my entrepreneurship really started taking shape and everything, and taking form. But here's the next part that comes with it, is that I got into the commercial lending side, offering, other small businesses, working capital, access to capital, and business credit and everything. So then all of 2021 and 2022, I was basically just trying to shove everything all under one house and one roof and everything. And then someone told me, basically, why don't I just basically start my own, branded company, corporation? So that's pretty much how Duguay Capital Enterprises Corp, was developed and formed and registered. And there you have it.
Wow, that's a history there, Paulie. It's amazing how you transferred from delivery to helping businesses out. So where would you say what brought your passion to what you're doing now?
What is my passion?
Yes, in helping other businesses financially.
Oh, of course.
How did you build up that passion?
Oh, honestly, that passion's always been there since I probably was born. I'm going to be honest with you about that. Because my mother and father basically, were striving entrepreneurs themselves and everything. They were doing like the whole Amway, independent business owner things in the late 70s and 80s and everything. So, they were kind of doing that thing. And then they were doing it off and on in the late 80s and 90s. And all. So, I mean, pretty much like the entrepreneurship seed and emotion and passion was instilled into me and everything ever since I was a little kid. So, that's just where it all basically started and everything. Entrepreneurship, the journey and everything has always been there, ever since I've been alive on this planet. So, but I've actually done some.
It's amazing how that always works out.
I'm sorry?
I said, isn't that amazing how that always works out? It's
Yeah.
like you're born to, you want to help people, or you want to do something bigger and better to better yourself, to help better other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, during when the pandemic was taking shape in 2020, I guess maybe towards the end of 2019 and everything, we didn't know that how much of a worldwide impact that this was going to happen. Obviously, mom and pop businesses, family oriented business and everything, that these were either small to medium small businesses, in the local community. They were all affected by the pandemic and everything, So, like, obviously when the federal government came to its aid with the PPP loans and the EIDL loans and all that and everything, that only went so far and everything. Now it seems like, just basically my whole research of this year was that a lot of these companies, they're going to run out of capital and credit, to keep their doors open for business for the future and everything. It's sad. It really is.
That is very sad. How is the process if someone wants to contact you and to help build up their business?
Sure. Absolutely. Well, they can go to, we actually, we have a website now and everything, Duguay Capital Enterprises Corp.com. Obviously, you got to put the HTTPS // obviously. And then you go to Duguay Capital Enterprises Corp.com, or send us an email at info@DuguayCapitalEnterprisesCorp.com. And then, I'll take it from there and everything. Because what I'm wanting to do for, a side project for 2024 is start doing, in Polk County, talking about financial literacy, to people that, are wanting to start a business, or they're struggling in their small business, where I'm going to be educating them and consulting with them about how to acquire corporate business credit, where the EIN number, the tax ID number of the business, is going to be built on building that business credit, profile with what is it called? The Experian Business, the Dun and Bradstreet, platforms and everything. Those are all those gateways that, business credit accounts with the small business gets reported to and everything. Let's say they want to get tools and equipment and everything. We have a vendor account that they can get, and they don't have to personally guarantee it. They just use strictly their business's information, their EIN number, their DUNS number and everything. If they have them, which in a way they should have that type of information available where they're going to apply for these accounts and everything. That's why I'm going to be having my my executive vice president, Mr. Andrew Savenka, come on the meeting next week, to go over all of those business credit accounts, all those tier accounts and everything, that the business owner can get these accounts and they don't have to provide any more social security numbers or personal information, or protecting their assets and everything with getting these accounts. Now, when someone wants to start doing, they can, okay, I love what you're talking about, because it makes sense. And I'm sick of, going to my bank, trying to apply for credit and everything. There's got to be an alternative. What is the alternative? So, getting, accounts from Harbor Freight, Uline, Granger, Quill, Fuelman, RTS, Titan. I mean, there's just so many of these types of tier accounts that business owners actually need, to have, so that way they're not using their cash flow, their business's revenue and everything to pay for to fulfill maybe a customer's product or service or something like that. So they have these accounts for their business and everything, and then that's just where they know the secret hidden realm of how, even corporations like Google, the Ford Motor Company, IBM, Amazon, you name it, UPS, these are all, well-known established corporation brands that use corporate business credit, okay? And they know the secrets. So now a little guy like me and everything, I've actually, came across those secrets. So that's what I'm wanting to help out with, even starting in Haines City, somebody that wants to operate a mom and pop ice cream shop. I'm just throwing that as a hypothetical example. If they want to start an ice cream shop or a Mexican restaurant, I don't care. Even another trucking company, they want to buy trucks, a fleet of trucks and everything. We can help them with that, with establishing business credit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, as small business owners, if you hear this right now, reach out to our brother Paulie. Mr. Witter, we're going to take a break.